I'm Ben Esgro. I am the formulator for Gamer Focus. I have a master's in pharmaceutical chemistry, and I'm a registered dietitian. And I'm here with Luke.
Yes, the founder of Gamer Focus. So we've got Ben on today, obviously as the formulator, and we just wanted to take a look at a Gamer Focus supplement and go through each ingredient and the dosages and how they can actually improve gaming performance. So starting off, Ben, we've got vitamin C at 500 milligrams. If you could explain a little bit why that's in the product.
So, vitamin C, most people will know of it as a part of a normal, healthy diet, but we also include it because it helps some of the ingredients, the active ingredients we use, particularly the mucuna extract, work better. So, basically an enhanced effect of tunnel vision into your game and whatever you're really trying to focus in on more.
She said, obviously, we'll touch base on that a bit, but it helps with the mucuna extract, and that just helps the performance, so it makes it last a little bit longer.
Yep.
So obviously we know late night gaming, we start late, we finish early hours in the morning, so that's going to help just prevent those crashes
Yep.
that maybe other gaming supplements may give you. So next ingredient up, we've got sodium citicoline. If you can explain what that is, and again, that's dosed at 500 milligrams. Why is that dosed at that amount as well?
So we use 500 milligrams specifically because all of the human research supports that being the minimum effective dose for that ingredient in regards to enhancing focus, concentration, and then also memory. So none of those are bad things when you're trying to actually be better at any game you're playing.
Yeah, because it's repetition.
Yep.
And when you're going to like the high level of competition and you've got to remember strats, and if you've got to try and break a hill, or you're trying to remember all the scrims you've gone through and what you should implement, that's where obviously that component is going to help.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. The one that's most common by everyone is caffeine. Can you explain why we've got 200 milligrams and the caffeine source we actually have in our product and why you chose that caffeine?
Sure. So we use caffeine anhydrous, which means there's no water being part of the molecule. So it's 100% caffeine. We use 200 milligrams because dose is important on any stimulant to make you not feel overexcited, over anxious, especially when you're playing whatever platform you're using, you don't want to be shaking. That's not going to help your performance. So the appropriate dosing of stimulants is very important. So we use roughly the amount you'd get from a really strong cup of coffee, or a little more than you'd get from other products on the market.
Cool. Mucuna extract, or LDopa. Again, we've got 150 milligrams. Again, what that does, I know obviously it has a relationship with vitamin C, which you touched based on, but how does that help improve the gamer focus supplement?
So L-Dopa is a precursor to dopamine. Dopamine is actually what helps you enjoy tasks more and also helps you focus. So especially if you're playing longer, you get the stimulation from something like caffeine, which will help the drop-off in performance not be so bad, and then really getting locked in with L-Dopa, a dopamine precursor, is going to work together with the caffeine and the stimulation from that.
And the last ingredient, we've got 200 micrograms of Huperzine. If you could explain how that works within the supplement.
Sure. So Huperzine is really a big differentiator in this formula, where typically from any caffeine-based drink that just works around caffeine, you might kind of fall off and crash, or kind of have the quick up, quick down, whereas Huperzine lasts quite a bit longer and it enhances really the main ingredients in the profile, so the citicoline and then also the caffeine.
Cool. So a lot of people which obviously have taken Game of Focus now, they use the term cracked, and they feel like they don't have that crash in it. They feel like it goes on for a long period of time. Could you talk briefly about sort of the certain ingredients where some may drop off, like caffeine after a certain period of time, and why other ingredients, why you've basically put those together as like the perfect combination to help give you that performance? You're not too jittery, you're not aiming all over the place, you're not moving your mouth because you're too stimmed up, and it gives you that clear focus. Like, why is this different basically than any other supplements? Visually, we know it's a lot smaller.
Yep.
We know it's smaller because we have active ingredients, and again, we're going to touch base on that on another video. But if you could talk about how the ingredients work synergistically, and why there is that prolonged effect that when someone does have Game of Focus for the first time.
Yeah, so there's a big difference between throwing a bunch of ingredients into a tub and saying it's better versus actually putting a lot of thought and background into the pharmacology of ingredients. So basically, there's something called half-life, which basically means how long an ingredient is in your blood and staying active until it's 50% broken down. So our profile, our supplement facts profile, is really, it's all of our actives, and 90% of what you see in that jar is active ingredient.
There's no fillers.
Right. No filler, no junk, no huge profile of a bunch of things that aren't going to work well together or maybe not taste well together or any of those things. So the difference is using less ingredients at the right doses helps it work better, feel cleaner, and then also each ingredient has a different half-life. So something like caffeine, which might last an hour and a half to 3 hours for someone, and then the Huperzine, which actually lasts up to 12, you're going to actually have a falling off of one ingredient while you have a sustain of another. So instead of just having, again, quick up, quick down, because you have one active that has a short half-life, you have multiple combined together that have different ones, so it will carry out longer.
The formula's a team. They work together.
Exactly.
When one's struggling, the other one comes in and takes over.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Ben. And again, we're going to bring in out more videos looking at Gamer Focus and other supplements in the gaming market.
We've taken over.
Mm-hmm.